Hello Internet, Hewlett here, not so sweaty today because I had to make a detour and make a mega Mars cheese sandwich for my son before he took off to school. Burn and Learn, for those of you who don't know, is my bid to remain alive and healthy long enough to raise my amazing son and also to enjoy the twilight years with my brilliant, beautiful wife Jane. Exercise I find very boring, so I like to learn something while I'm doing it, and then I like to share what I've learned with you in the sweatiest way possible. Today I've failed slightly because I'm only just marginally, residually sweaty, which is just, you know, lovely for everybody, I'm sure. So mega Mars cheese sandwich today was what I do is I make a grilled cheese sandwich, and I put the cheese on the outside as well, and it's sort of an orangey cheese, so it begins to look like Mars, and that seems suitable today because we have the Insight landing today, which I'm very much looking forward to. Although I think I'm going to be talking with Professor E from Easy Robot while that's happening. That'll have to be on another screen while we're talking. While we're conspiring, there will be the Insight landing happening. It's just like we live in the future. It's just, just another robot landing on Mars. This one's going to drill down about 15 feet, I think, and get some sort of seismic readings and all sorts of other wonderful things. I got to find out more about it because I don't exactly know. But just watching the beautiful solar arrays unfold, and it's just, and then a robotic arm comes in and puts the equipment onto the Mars surface. This is happening while we speak. No, not while we speak. Better not be, because I'd have missed it then. The learn part of my Burn and Learn today was my continued reading of that fantastic book, which I've forgotten the title of, because the thing about Kindle is you don't see the title, right? You're flicking through. Where it talks about learning, like learning to learn. And the couple of things that came out today, which I thought was great, was one of the things it says is it talks about how important it is to lock things in by repetition, by making these things habits so that they become easier to do. I mean, habits is basically just a lazy way of doing things. Once they're locked in, they happen automatically. And there's something kind of very satisfying about getting up fairly early in the morning to exercise, and then you're reading about the things you should be doing, like getting up in the morning early to exercise, and how the process of learning by chunking stuff, by breaking it up into chunks. But the thing that came up, which I thought was kind of amusing, was my family always teases me because I tend to listen to the flight attendants when they point out exits and tell you to count the seats and stuff. And also the first thing I do in a hotel room is I look at the back of the door and see where the emergency exits are. And it actually mentions it in this book that that's actually a smart thing to do because it's what they would call it, like priming the mental pump. Like you've got that in your head now, so that in an emergency you're not having to rely on working stuff out. It's already in there. And one of the tricks they have, which I thought was great, was you read ahead. So basically you sort of flick through the chapter, sort of just look at all the little headings and stuff, and maybe read the questions at the end, and then go back and read the chapter, and that just gets your brain thinking about it before you actually sit down and sort of like drill into the actual reading of each of the sections. So just really interesting stuff. And of course the reason for this is to try to, I want to instill some kind of, I want to instill some good learning techniques in my son. But the funny thing is in reading this book, I'm realizing how bad my own are, and that perhaps by example, I can help the kid out with some of this stuff. Just how, I mean, procrastination being a huge thing for me. As an actor, you live waiting for the phone to ring, now for the email to bing, to say, oh, you've got an audition, and in between, it's very easy to just sort of like sit back and go like, well, I can't do anything because I might have an audition. And so I've been living my life like that since I was 16 years old. So there's some habits that are really ingrained there. So the idea of doing stuff outside of just that sort of audition and film world is kind of daunting. So I've got to create my own habits that will work. So there you go. There you have it. There you be. I hope you will all be enjoying the Insight landing at 3 p.m. Was it? Yeah, 3 p.m. my time, I think. So whatever that is for you guys. Watch it. It should be fun. I'm telling you, those little solar arrays. I'm not sure how much we can see. I'm assuming that the satellites they have out there will be beaming stuff back, but I don't know with what kind of clarity, or whether it's video or just images. I'm not sure, but I'm really excited about it. So until we geek again, sweaty or not, here I come. Cheerio!